Yo, what's good? Top of the Top, episode 209, Stash House Podcast. Your boy Tyler checking in. First time listeners, thank y'all for tuning in. If you tune in weekly, salute. And just an episode, saw some topics you may want to hear about. Salute to you as well. Like, share, subscribe, retweet, whatever do to help support the podcast. Greatly appreciate it. Podcast available on all streaming platforms, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Anchor app. Subscribe, leave comments, reviews, put your people on. All greatly appreciate it. To start this episode, I want to give some shout outs real quick. First, I want to start with my guy Mike Davis out of North Carolina. Last week, I was offered the opportunity to be on his podcast, the Drop the Mic Wrestling Podcast. We chatted about some things going on in the wrestling world, including the WWE draft that's taking place at the moment. And I might talk about that more next week because they have an event next week in Puerto Rico. Plus, they debuted a new belt as well, so I may tap into that next week. But shout out to my guy Mike Davis. Thanks for the opportunity. If you haven't already, check that out. It's available on all my socials. If you need the link, just let me know, and I'll tap you in with that. Also, shout out to my guys at the Let Loose Podcast, Jordan and Sam. They hosted a Facebook Live during the NFL Draft on Thursday. That was a real dope concept. I popped in real quick, showed some love to them. So shout out to those guys, Mike Davis, Drop the Mic Wrestling Podcast, Jordan, Sam, and everybody included with the Facebook Live for the Let Loose Podcast. This week, a lot to get to in sports. Once again, I'm going to start with the NFL Draft. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show some love to some notable draft picks, mostly from my region, and, of course, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Some of my guys got drafted in the first round. And then I'm going to turn back around and get my thoughts overall on the draft. So, first overall pick, Carolina Panthers. They drafted Bryce Young out of Alabama at quarterback. We kind of figured that was going to happen, so salute to Bryce Young taking number one. Number two, my guy C.J. Stroud out of Ohio State at quarterback, drafted by the Houston Texans. Will Anderson at number three, also drafted by the Houston Texans, the Alabama edge rusher. Number four, Anthony Richardson, Florida quarterback, drafted by the Indianapolis Colts. Also, Paris Johnson, Ohio State offensive tackle, drafted by the Arizona Cardinals. We got Bijan Robinson, Texas running back, drafted by the Falcons. Jalen Carter, Georgia defensive tackle, drafted by the Eagles. Jahmyr Gibbs, Alabama running back, drafted by the Lions. Jackson Smith and Jitma, Ohio State wide receiver, drafted by the Seattle Seahawks. Nolan Smith, Georgia edge rusher, drafted by the Eagles. And also Tank Bigsby, Auburn running back, drafted by the Jacksonville Jaguars. So overall, saw some young talent take that leap, go into the league. Now the real work starts, as they like to say. First, my takeaways from the draft. First off, shout out to Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, and Anthony Richardson. I want to say this is a first-time thing. 3 black quarterbacks drafted in the top 5. Monumental milestone for black people in general, man. We just keep on seeing our people elevate. I love to see it, so shout out to those 3 guys. Wishing the best for all 3 of them. Bryce Young, going into the draft, it was questions about his height, and it's crazy to see that the Panthers drafted him, being that the Panthers also drafted Cam Newton those years ago. And you can clearly see the size difference in the 2 quarterbacks, but honestly, it just shows how the game has elevated at the quarterback position. You got guys like Kyler Murray and Lamar Jackson who can make plays with their legs and their arm, and Bryce Young falls into that category as well, in my opinion. And I say this all the time about quarterbacks drafted in like the top 5, top 10, you got to protect your quarterback. I don't care how elusive they are, how much throwing power they have, how much of an IQ they have. If they don't get protected, it's not going to matter much. We saw my guy last year, Justin Fields. Like he can't sit back there in the pocket and just chill for a minute when your offensive line is letting the defense just collapse within a matter of 2-3 seconds. I mean, you got to get the ball out quick. So I feel like for Bryce Young, they surround him with the talent he needs, and, of course, the talent at offensive line that he needs, he's going to succeed. When you can make plays with your leg and your arm in today's league, you off to a great start. So I think Bryce Young has a bright future in Carolina. Also, my guy C.J. Stroud, Houston Texans. My biggest concern with the Texans having C.J. Stroud is their organization, for one. The organization just doesn't seem – of course, they had Deshaun Watson, but he had his whole situation going on. But even Deshaun Watson there, like he couldn't just sit in the pocket. Like he was constantly getting put on the ground by the defense. You need to invest in the offensive line to protect your quarterback. That's rule number one. You got Mechie coming back, so give me some wide receivers. I know for a fact C.J. Stroud is not a runner, so he needs receivers he can get the ball out quick to. He needs a line that can protect him, and he needs a running back he can rely on. Dunk off passes here and there. The running back get yards on the ground that can open up play action. You need to surround C.J. Stroud with talent to fit his needs, and I know that personally from watching him at Ohio State. But Houston Texans also at pick number 3 drafting Will Anderson on defense. Originally, that pick was for the Arizona Cardinals, and as soon as they drafted C.J. Stroud, word came down that they traded for the number 3 pick as well at defense. They always had guys on defense, J.J. Watt, Clowney. Texans always had drafted guys for defense, but being that they traded up to get that pick, it made me think, maybe they are going to take some accountability as an organization and try to create some stability. You got a first-year coach, so you can't, once again, like my guy Jordan said on the Let Loose Facebook Live, you can't keep firing coaches after 1-2 years. You got to have a coach there for a minute to get his, I won't say tactics, but get his offensive playbook, his coordinators in place. You got to give the coach time. That's with any sport. I say that with college and the pros. You need the coach there for a while to implement his ideas to fit the team that he wants to have. So the Texans, I'm looking forward to see how it goes with C.J. Stroud. He is in Houston, so I do got a reason to go to Houston now outside of Eaton. So, I'm curious to see how it pans out for C.J. Stroud. Of course, y'all know me. I don't really have an NFL team. I kind of just root for wherever my guys at Ohio State at. You got C.J. Stroud now at Houston. I'm going to get the Garrett Wilson over there with the Jets, Chris Olave. In terms of my Buckeyes, we got some talent around the league, and I'm very, very interested to see how it pans out. Of course, Justin Fields in Chicago, of course. So curious to see how it pans out. Anthony Richardson, quarterback, Colts. The thing about Anthony Richardson, they were saying before the draft and after the draft, he's basically being drafted based on his potential. The game tape, he only played, 13 games at Florida, something like that. They're saying his game tape doesn't really match his potential. And it's a toss-up, but, you the coach. You got nothing else to do. You got to get a quarterback. Why not? Why not? At the same time, you did have the guy from Kentucky who was on the board as well, but Anthony Richardson, his stature, his size, like I said, they basing that pick on his potential. So we'll see how it goes. I'm sure it's going to be eyes on him out in Indianapolis and see how that pan out. What else? Takeaways. The Eagles, the Philadelphia Bulldogs, if you want to call them that. I think they got 3 picks from Georgia, and they made trades to get more players who played at Georgia to come over there to the Eagles as well. And they were saying, that's kind of odd that Georgia won 2 straight national championships and their prospects wasn't being looked at. Of course, like I said, you got Nolan Smith, who was drafted first round. You got, what's my guy name? Jalen Carter, who was drafted first round. But you would think they'll have more eyes on them being that they just won 2 straight national championships. But obviously, Philadelphia Eagles, who I'm going to talk about more, obviously the Philadelphia Eagles are looking for a championship DNA team to surround Jalen Hurts with. You got Devontae Smith over there, wide receiver. The Eagles seem to be building something. They came close last year to the Super Bowl. And they just gave Jalen Hurts that check, which I'm about to talk about in a minute as well. Watch out for the Eagles. They flying under the radar in terms of bringing guys over there who know a little something about winning in big-time games. So Philadelphia, they snuck under the radar. What else I got to say about Will Levis? Will Levis, the quarterback from Kentucky. He was predicted to go in the first round, but he wasn't picked. He was picked in the second round, number 2 pick in the second round by the Tennessee Titans. And that really just goes to show, hey, what your agent say is cool, what Mel Kiper say is cool, what Todd McShay say is cool. Man, you better make sure you getting picked in that first round before you show up to the draft, man. We saw with Lamar Jackson when he was drafted, he was just waiting for the phone call. We saw with Will Levis in the green room just waiting for the phone call that never came. You got your family there, you suited and booted. Man, you better make sure you're getting picked, man, before you just go to the draft. You could have watched that from home And they showed several players who got drafted in the first round. They was at the crib with their family. Like, unless you probably top 10, I'll probably stay at home. I mean, I ain't going to say that. It's an experience. It's a monumental moment. So if I know for sure I'm getting picked in the first round, I'm pulling up. But if it's tossed like, hey, man, you might drop to early second round, mid-second round, I'm staying home. So Will Levis, I mean, he did get drafted, so it's not like he got slept on. So, I mean, prove the doubters wrong. You at Tennessee. I think they need a quarterback. Yeah, I believe that quarterback position. I know they had Tannehill, if I'm not mistaken, but, I mean, Will Levis can come, sit for a couple games. If Tennessee feel like they need to make a change at quarterback and he's ready, hey, you got your moment. Some guys who didn't get drafted at all looking for get signed as an undrafted free agent. So the fact that you got drafted regardless, I mean, somebody believe in you. And Will Levis, I mean, prove the doubters wrong. That's what the draft for. Just because you didn't get picked first round don't mean you less valuable than the other guys. Prove yourself. Everybody got to go on the field. Everybody got to get the football in their hand at quarterback. Got to read the defense like everybody else. Prove yourself, Will Levis, and you'll be all right. Now, that was the draft. Some more NFL news. Aaron Rodgers traded to the Jets. It's been talks of that for some months now, and I haven't really been keeping up with the Aaron Rodgers Green Bay saga, honestly. But from what I got from it, he was tired of Green Bay, and Green Bay was tired of him. That's what I really got from it. And it took a while to get it set that he can get traded somewhere, but they finally got it with the Jets. I'm happy for my guy Garrett Wilson from Ohio State, wide receiver. He won the Offensive Rookie of the Year last year without a stable quarterback. So now you're telling me Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers for the past couple seasons, it's been finger-pointing, I'll say that, well, Aaron Rodgers, he's getting older, or no, Green Bay doesn't surround him with the talent he needs. They got rid of Devontae Adams, his number one target. The offensive line can't hold up for him. It's been a lot of finger points. Aaron Rodgers still really him. We'll see this year. He got targets. All he need, once again, quarterback. All you need is an offensive line that can hold up. He is Aaron Rodgers. We've seen numerous Hail Mary game-winner throws. We've seen numerous clutch throws from Aaron Rodgers throughout the years. He got the weapons. If you get the protection, it could be very, very interesting out in New York for the Jets. I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon to say, oh, they one piece away from a championship. I'm not doing that. I never do that. But with their division in the AFC regardless, I mean, they got Buffalo they got to worry about. They got Miami to worry about. Is Tua healthy? And they still got New England to worry about. As long as Bill Belichick over there, you still got New England to worry about as well. So their division already a little crowded, not to mention the conference. And I got to see how their schedule look. But personally, for my guy Garrett Wilson at wide receiver, I'm so excited to see he got a quarterback. If you did all that last year without a quarterback, win Offensive Rookie of the Year, now you throw Aaron Rodgers in the mix, I think we'll see some things out of New York with the Jets, but it all comes down to protect Aaron Rodgers. Protect Aaron Rodgers and make sure that relationship with the organization, because I think that was the final straw for him out in Green Bay, was the relationship with the organization. So we'll see how that play out. And, of course, I got to give some shout-outs. Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson. Man, first of all, I'm not really a contract guy when it comes to, like, players signing deals. As long as I see 2-3 digits and an M, it's like, hey, man, salute. You got your money. But Jalen Hurts, $255 million contract, $179 million guaranteed. That means an average of $51 million. Shout out to Jalen Hurts. Once again, came close to a Super Bowl last year, and it's obvious the Philadelphia Eagles see his talent and see that he can lead this team to the promised land. So shout out to Jalen Hurts getting that job done. And shout out to his agent as well, Nicole Lynn. Within the past month, Nicole Lynn, she was named the president of football for Clutch Sports. She spoke with 50 Cent about a TV show in the making. And, of course, she signed Jalen Hurts that big contract. And she signed numerous players from the draft as well. I want to say Bryce Young at number 1 as well. I think he's included in that. So shout out to Nicole Lynn. And with all this going on, she announced a pregnancy as well. So congratulations to her and her family as well. So black women, I mean, you see numerous motivation out there to do anything you put your mind to, put your heart to. You got a woman out here that's getting $1 million contracts done in the football world. So the sky's the limit for my black women. Once again, it's numerous people you can look at for motivation to do that. So shout out to Nicole Lynn, shout out to Jalen Hurts. Also, Lamar Jackson re-signed with the Baltimore Ravens. That's probably been the number one story. I probably put that story above Aaron Rodgers for the entire football season since last year. Lamar Jackson contract situation. He signed the contract, $260 million, $185 million guaranteed, average $52 million. Shout out to my black men also getting that money. Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson. The thing with Lamar Jackson was he was doing all this without an agent, and I want to say that he just told his mama to handle all of it. Once again, black women. Hey, my agent's not getting it done. I got rid of my agent. I'm struggling to get it done by myself. Hey, mama, come over here and handle this for me. Got the job done. Out of all that, all year, we've been hearing about Lamar Jackson. When his mama came into place, the job got done. Get your money, Lamar Jackson. I like what Jalen Hurts said as well. Money is nice, but championships are better. Now, first off, I said at the beginning of this, black men, get y'all money. In the NFL, get y'all money. Get all y'all can while y'all can. Now, not only get a championship for yourself, but get the championship for the organization, and then you can probably pop your shit too. Hey, I told y'all we'll get it done. Give me my money. Give me some players that can ride with me throughout this journey, and we're going to bring y'all a chip. And then when I bring y'all a chip, when it's time for me to renegotiate, I'm going to get some more money out of y'all. You got to finesse the system. So shout out to Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson on getting their paper. Once again, shout out to the young guys from college making that jump to the NFL. Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson, everybody, man. I'm looking forward to this upcoming NFL season. If I'm not mistaken, we might have a quiet offseason. Now Lamar Jackson got his deal. At the moment, I mean, it's the NFL. They're going to find something to talk about before kickoff of the new season. But I think we might have a quiet offseason. I can't think of anything that can go on to where we're going to hear about it up until September, August, or whatnot. So, once again, shout out to everybody. Shout out to all my black men getting their money. Shout out to all the black women making things happen around the world. And, yeah, that's what I got for the NFL draft and the NFL news. Now back to the NBA playoffs to start. Both of my predictions for the finals, both teams are eliminated. The Bucks and the Memphis Grizzlies both got eliminated in the first round. So in terms of the finals, I was completely wrong. But on the bright side, my Lakers still in it. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But first, let's get to the West. Start with the West. We got the Nuggets and the Suns. At the moment, the Nuggets took game 1 over the Suns. I do have the Nuggets winning this series in 6. One, because out of these two teams, you can make the argument, well, most people probably say the Suns have more pressure, but I've been on this podcast throughout the past couple weeks saying, me personally, I have the Nuggets and Jokic as the team and player with the most pressure in these playoffs. So this just adds on to the pressure I have on the Nuggets. So I'm going to go with them in 6. The Suns, I've been saying, they are very, very top-heavy with that starting lineup. I think this series, out of this series, they bench need to step up. If they bench don't step up, it's going to be a short series for the Suns, in my opinion. Yes, Kevin Durant can go crazy one night. Yes, Devin Booker can go crazy one night. Aiden got to really step up against Jokic. I think that's his test. This should be his biggest test right now, Aiden. I said last series, Aiden needed to get the ball rolling because next series they could possibly see Jokic. And now we here. And you saw game 1, Jokic, man, with Aiden, it's going to be a back and forth. So Aiden definitely needs to step up. They got Murray now for the Nuggets. Everybody's healthy for the Nuggets at the moment, if I'm not mistaken. Definitely more healthy than they was last year in the playoffs. So the Nuggets, I feel like they're going to come out on top with this series. It should be an entertaining series. Hopefully I can catch some games because obviously they both on the West Coast. But, yeah, in terms of pressure, you probably got more people going for the Suns, but I'm going with the Nuggets, and I got the Nuggets in 6. Now, some more important news in the Western Conference playoffs. My Lakers defeated the Memphis Grizzlies in 6. Wow. Where to start? Obviously, one, I was wrong about the Lakers. I had the Lakers winning this in 7, but the Lakers are exceeding my expectations. If you would have told me in October, hey, Tyler, y'all going to, 1, win the play-in to get the 7 seed, and we're going to beat the Memphis Grizzlies in 6 in the first round, I would have laughed. Now, obviously, once again, we made some changes in the roster for the better. Once again, Dylan Brooks, you open your mouth, and I said it last week, and people was telling me, like, Tyler, how can you say win the series first, then trash talk? It's a difference in trash talk. It's levels to trash talking. Okay, you tied the series up 1-1. Yeah, man, we saw a lot of holes in the defense. The defense didn't really show up. We was on one. We was hitting shots, whoop-de-whoop. Maybe they'll play better next game, but as of right now, our offense is very confident in going to L.A. and winning, whoop-de-whoop. You can say all that, but when you go into Mike and say, man, LeBron, I expected more from LeBron, whoop-de-whoop. And like I said, with LeBron James, man, you just don't do that. We've seen LeBron James literally take Atlanta. I forgot what season, but Atlanta was the number 1 seed. He took Cleveland. They swept Atlanta. We've seen LeBron go in Toronto numerous times when they had Kyle Lowry and DeRozan and just kill their spirits. LeBron did that to Toronto. We saw that before. And now you got Dylan Brooks running his mouth, which I feel like was a confidence boost for the Lakers. They're saying, oh, they playing with us. You know what I'm saying? They playing with us. They tied the series up. Man, Lakers exceeded my expectations. And what I want to do, I want to read LeBron's tweet. And I got something to say about this LeBron tweet as well. So this is what LeBron tweeted. Unlike you, little I'm a grown-ass man. Big shoes to fill. Grown-ass pants. Probably hustle your pops. Go ask your parents. It's apparent you're staring at a legend who put a few little niggas in their place before. Try eating without saying their grace first. So basically LeBron saying, Dylan Brooks, you got to recognize I'm LeBron James. I'm him. And I've been saying this about LeBron since he won the championship with Cleveland. I would have been popped my shit if I was LeBron. After that Cleveland win, man, I would have been. Look, yes, I'm LeBron. Yes, I'm a great father. I'm a great role model. But at the same time, y'all got to realize I'm him. The 2 championships with Miami, people can say what they want to say. But when he went back to Cleveland, coming back from 3-1, him and Kyrie doing their thing, hey, man, I'm LeBron. Game-winning situation. LeBron, why you didn't drive in the paint? Why you shot a 3? Hey, man, tonight I just felt like shooting a 3. Hey, man, tonight I just felt like driving it to the paint. Hey, man, tonight I just felt like passing it to the wide-open opponent. Stop with all this good guy attitude, man. You him. You him. Hey, man, y'all want to talk to me? I really don't got to sit here and talk to y'all. Hey, tonight I just didn't feel like taking the last shot. I wanted to pass to the wide-open guy. I've been saying LeBron should have this attitude since the Cleveland win, so I'm glad to see it, and that going to put a spark in our team because I got a hot take. I don't care who wins. I'm recording this before Golden State and Sacramento Game 7. I don't care who wins. I got the Lakers winning that series. The teams I predicted to go to the finals are eliminated, so I'm rolling with the Lakers all the way. Yes, I'm about to be that fan. They proved me wrong. I came on here in October. Man, Lakers, we might get in the play-in. They exceeded my expectations. So now I got to ride with my guys. I got to ride with them. Anthony Davis, he's going to do better. Reeves just stepped up. I like how they call Reeves and LeBron Tony Stark and Peter Parker. I like that. Hachimura, the X factor for the rest, definitely for the next series. I don't care if we play Sacramento or Golden State. The X factor is D'Angelo Russell. Closeout game, D'Angelo Russell had 31 points. If we get that, Vanderbilt do what he need to do on defense, Dennis Schroeder do what he need to do, Darvin Ham, a lot of people are questioning his rotation at the moment. I say that about every coach, though. I hate like an 8-man rotation. If you got 13 people on the bench, I'll put all them in. But that's why I'm not a coach. That's just me personally. If I got all these guys on the bench, everybody's going to get a little bit of playing time, but that's just me. But Darvin Ham, his rotation, I'm sure he's going to do better. Now, I'm not saying we're just going to mollywop Golden State or Sacramento. I'm definitely not saying that. But I feel like we can, in terms of physicality, Anthony Davis, he needs it. I appreciate the mid-range. I appreciate what he do, but I would love to see an in-the-paint Anthony Davis in this next round. You got Looney for Golden State. If we play Golden State, of course, Draymond. But Sacramento, Sabonis, like either way, you kind of got guys that Anthony Davis got to probably bang with down in the post. Definitely on the rebounding tip. LeBron's going to do what LeBron do. So overall, I'm excited to see what my Lakers got going. I love that tweet from LeBron. I feel like he should have been doing that. You don't do interviews, so why not just pop your shit on Twitter? When they ask about it in the press conference, just be 100. I mean, you could be politically correct, but still be 100 at the same time. If you're LeBron, you got the team around you, public relations and all that around you to, you know what I'm saying, make sure everything don't get blown out of proportion. So at the time, I'm happy with the attitude my Lakers got. We got rid of Memphis, a team who I had going all the way in the West. I mean, nothing much I can really say. I was wrong, but at the same time, I'm glad I was wrong. That's the best I can say. And in terms of Golden State, Sacramento, that's been a very, very exciting series. It is going to 7. I am recording before the Game 7, but I did have Sacramento winning this series in 6, so I'm still rolling with Sacramento to win in 7. It's hard for Golden State to win on the road all season. Sacramento, I'm sure that environment, they haven't been in the playoffs since 2006. So now you're telling me in round 1 against Golden State is going to Game 7 in Sacramento, it's going to be electric in there. It's going to be electric. And what better way to finally get back to the playoffs after all these years? What better confidence boost is it to eliminate not only the reigning defending champions Golden State Warriors, but to possibly defeat the dynasty of the 2010s? The dynasty. 4 championships in 8 years. What better way to get a confidence boost to say, man, we took Golden State to 7 and we won? What better confidence boost is that? So I'm going with Sacramento, Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk. I like what I've been seeing from them. Head coach Mike Brown, I've liked what I've seen from Sacramento in this series. And like I said, before this series even started, I didn't watch any Sacramento Kings before these playoffs. They got the guy, the rookie, I believe he a starter. I want to say named Murray, if I'm not mistaken. He can hit some big shots as well. I like what I'm seeing for Sacramento. And I had them winning this series just strictly based on their underdog road. So, of course, for Game 7 in their home on their home court, I'm going to roll with them as well. So, shout out to Sacramento. And Golden State, they be turning the ball over. I saw somebody tweet. There was like Jordan Poole play like Steve Kerr, spin him around in the circle, then just push him on the court. But I like what I've been seeing from the Kings, man. And at the same time, Golden State is Golden State. They could realize, hey, y'all, we about to get sent home in the first round by the Sacramento Kings. Man, let's goddamn Steph Curry go out there and hit about 45. Let Clay go out there and hit about 35 at the same time. It is Golden State. I'm going for the Kings, but by the time y'all hear this, obviously, we're going to know who won. But I'm very excited to see that game today, that Game 7. I'm very, very excited. Now, in the Eastern Conference, we had the Miami Heat versus the New York Knicks. The Miami Heat defeated the Bucks in round 1 in 5. Of course, I had the Bucks winning the East. Jimmy Butler, man. Jimmy Butler, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I didn't hear anything about any other player from the Miami Heat besides Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler in those 5 games against the Bucks, he went for 42 points, 56 points, 30 points, 25 points, and 35 points. Jimmy Butler went ballistic on the Milwaukee Bucks. And Jimmy Butler, once again, I saw a tweet. They said, yo, if Jimmy Butler were to win a ring, it's a conversation that need to be had. I'm not sure what the conversation would be. I really don't. I mean, I know what the conversation would be, but I don't know what the conversation would be in terms of Jimmy Butler's place, because we know he's physical, he a real one, he can put up points, he can go crazy, as I just stated. If he get a ring, I would like to see the conversation that would be had with Jimmy Butler if he were to win a ring. That's what I'm going to say. I would like to see what the conversation would be, because I really can't. I know what I'll say, salute, he finally got one. Put in the hard work all these years, from his upbringing to how he got to college and his off-season workouts. And it's many stories surrounding Jimmy Butler's career. So adding a ring to that would be very, very interesting. I would like to see it, honestly, eventually. As long as my Lakers not involved with it, I would like to see it. But we'll see how it goes. Giannis at the press conference. I'm going to tell y'all how I felt about this Giannis at the press conference, right? I saw it early. When I saw it, I was like, okay, Giannis, that's some real, you know what I'm saying? You kept it real. Then I thought about it. I said, wait a minute. The guy asked, was this year a failure? And Giannis said, you asked me this last year. So when he said that, because I rewatched it, he said, you asked me this last year, was this year a failure? So I'm thinking, if he asked you that last year, he obviously felt that last year was a failure. And then he was like, Michael Jordan was, he was in the league 15 years or something like that. He won 6 rings. So what the other 9 years of failure? No, they weren't a failure. It's a building, whoop-de-whoop. He made it, he twisted the words up to make it sound positive. But, I mean, Giannis, I did have y'all going to the finals since the start of the season. If I study for a test 2 weeks out and I get the test and I bomb the test, it's a failure. There's nothing wrong with failing. You create learning experiences from failed experiences. There's nothing wrong with saying, yeah, man, we had higher hopes. Granted, injuries played a part. Who knows what would have happened if Giannis didn't get hurt, but injuries are part of the game. You really can't just put the loss on you being injured. He wasn't doing that, but I'm just saying. But Giannis, the good guy road, it's a time and place for it. Obviously, if it was a learning experience last year that you got eliminated, then this year you should have at least made it to the second round. You can't be the Eastern Conference favorite or one of the Eastern Conference favorites and losing 5 to the number 8 seed. It's not a bad thing that you lost. It's not a bad thing. I hate that he tried to flip it as, it's a learning experience. Like, you can say it's a learning experience, but yeah, we failed. You can say, yeah, we failed, but we're going to take this as a learning experience, and next year we're going to come back better. Don't just twist your words up and make it sound like, oh, don't worry about it. We learned from this mistake. We learned from this loss. Jimmy Butler went crazy. You missed like 13 free throws, by the way. So a failure can be a learning experience. It's not one or the other. It's not a failure. It's a learning experience. No, it's a failure, but we're going to learn from it. There's nothing wrong with that. And I had y'all winning the East, so I'm obviously looking at it as like, yeah, man, y'all failed. You're going to take what you learned from this failure and come back next year better. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just my opinion, though. I would love to hear what y'all got to say about it, because he made it sound good. Don't get me wrong, he made it sound good, but when I sat back and watched it again, I was like, sometimes, man, when you fail at something, you can learn from that. That's how I took it. With the Knicks, they won in 5 over the Cavs. Julius Randle, once again, he just plays with a chip on his shoulder. I want to say game 4, he was benched toward the end of the game, and in game 5, he was hurt before halftime, and he missed the second half of the game, and the team just still thrived without him. You got Brunson, R.J. Barrett, Josh Hart, Mitchell Robinson, guys off the bench quickly. They stepped up. So Julius Randle, I mean, it is talks of him, New York, his future in New York, but he just played with a chip on his shoulder. I said it at the start of the playoffs. He just played with a chip on his shoulder. I'm sure he's going to try to redeem himself this series. It's going to be a great series, a rivalry renewed. You also got Thibodeau, head coach of the Knicks, playing against his former I would say protege, but his former player, Jimmy Butler, so that's a storyline as well. I got the Knicks winning this series in 6. I got the Knicks winning this series in 6. Really, Jimmy Butler's going to get in 1 game, and somebody else may step up for 2, but they're going to need more than Jimmy Butler. Like the Knicks all around, the Knicks are looking pretty good this season. And once again, that energy in Madison Square Garden is going to make for great television. I'm going with the Knicks in 6. Also, we got Boston Celtics versus the Philadelphia 76ers. The Celtics defeated the Hawks in 6. Me personally, I thought it was going to be a sweep or in 5. Somehow, some way, Atlanta got it to 6. They lost in Atlanta. Jaylen Brown made some big shots. Jason Tatum really didn't get momentum going. But the Hawks been inconsistent all year. I figured the Celtics was the overall better team. I'm surprised it got to 6 once again. But I think Jason Tatum's going to wake up. Jaylen Brown going to continue to do what he's going to do. Brogdon coming off the bench, 6th man of the year. He's going to provide some great offense as well. Robert Williams, as long as he stay healthy in the paint, they're going to get rebounds and second chance points. Marcus Smart always going to have his shenanigans going on to help provide some energy for the team. Who else? Al Horford, he can make some big shots towards the end as well. So Boston, I still think now with the Milwaukee Bucks out the picture, I think Boston is probably the favorite now to come out the East. I think they're favored to come out the East. If the Knicks can get by the Heat, that could be interesting. But now they got the Philadelphia 76ers, and the only reason I'm saying the Celtics, I got the Celtics winning this, and I'm going to say Celtics in 5. Embiid's health. That's my question. Embiid health matched with, I just think Boston is looking like they ready to make a run. Once again, for the Sixers, Embiid's health, can James Harden provide consistently? Once again, Tobias Harris got to do what he need to do. Maxey need to do what he need to do. Role players, Doc Rivers head coach. But Embiid's health, with that looming over this series and the way Boston looking, I'm going to go Boston in 5. That's why I'm at with it. So for my playoff predictions for the semifinals, I got the Nuggets in 6. Whoever the Lakers play, I got the Lakers in 6. Whoever they play, Lakers in 6. With the Knicks and the Heat, I got the Knicks in 6. And I got Boston over Philly in 5. That's what I'm going with for the playoffs. It's been a very entertaining playoff so far. Once again, I can admit when I'm wrong. My finals prediction, Memphis, Milwaukee, they both got out of here in the first round. So now I'm full-fledged with the Late Show. This has been episode 209, Stash House Podcast. Wish you guys go out, have a great work week, a great school week. Take care of yourselves, drink plenty of water, be with your surroundings, get some money, stay low, take care of your people, take care of yourself, your mental, all that good stuff. Keep me in your prayers. I do the same for y'all. Salute.